Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel, Be Everything, where you can be everything you want to be. Now let's get right into this, get ready with me. Y'all know how this go, same thing, different day, different colors. We were getting ready for a Sunday service. This was Mother's Day. And so I'm not going to go through and explain everything I'm doing because duh, y'all know that YouTube videos everywhere let you know what's going on here in this video. But I am going to give y'all a real quick story time while y'all watch me get ready. So one time I was working at this school, and the school shall not be named, but if you know, you know. And I was working at this school, and I was working with a group of students, and there was a cleaning person who was very, very comfortable with the female students, and it was noticed by a bunch of the staff members. And so I started working there, and I noticed it, and then I was like, well, maybe I'm tripping, but then I kept noticing it. So then I mentioned it to a couple people, and they were saying that they had noticed the same thing, and that he had been talked to about how comfortable he would get with the students. And so I started to speak to my students, and I would tell my group of students, like, listen, I don't want them to be like Miss Brown kids. It's the kids who was doing 1, 2, and 3. So y'all leave him alone, and he'll leave y'all alone. And that's where we leave it at. So fast forward to a day where he was coming around, and like I said, he was the cleaner person. So he would come and get the trash out of the classrooms and everything. Y'all know COVID done restricted us to the classroom, so kids don't go to the lunchroom no more to eat. They eat in the classroom. So he came to get the trash out of the classrooms, and he was really excited to see my students. But not only was he excited to see them, they were extremely excited to see him too. It was really giddy, like, I'm flirting with you type of energy. And I'm a grown lady, and I don't play games with kids and grown people. That's just that. So if I see something that's inappropriate, I'm going to say something. I don't care who feels a way about it. I'm sorry if you feel a way about it and if you're affected by it. If it's incorrect, I'm going to speak on it. So I then went ahead and I told my class again, y'all leave that man alone. He is grown. They like, Miss Brown, he only so-and-so teen. All I'm gonna say is he hadn't even turned 20 yet. So he was fresh out of high school. And I still was letting them know it doesn't matter how young or old you believe he is still a grown man. He works here. Y'all will get him in trouble, and y'all will get yourselves in trouble. So my students, I was telling them this. I just was like, point blank period, leave him alone. Don't say anything else to him. So the following day, there was a young lady who I guess was calling him, they were like god brother and sister or whatever the case may be, but it was just like a play thing. It wasn't really like in real life, that's my god brother. And so I guess she was with him in the gym while they were at gym, and somebody told her, Miss Brown said, don't be talking to him, don't mess with him, because we don't want to get in trouble. And so she got upset, and she called her mom. And I later found out that not only did she call her mom, the janitor went in there with her, the cleaner person or janitor, whatever, went in there with her to call her mom, which was thoroughly inappropriate. But then I also found out that the teacher whose class they were in at the time was quite literally on the phone telling the parent that something had happened that had not happened. Not only had it not happened, he was never around for any of these conversations. So I'm like, okay, somebody got me messed up. Somebody got me messed up, and I hate finding out information on the back end, because if I find out in the moment, I can handle it in the moment. I can't handle nothing on the back end after I done found out 3-4 months after it done happened. I'm not going back to circle back around to that. So back to the story. Then the girl's mom came up there looking for me and everything, and she was running around the school, running into all the classrooms. Where's Miss Brown? Where's Miss Brown? Where's Miss Brown? And I'm like, I'm oblivious to everything that's happening. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I knew what was going on. I brung my students back from gym, and when I brung my students back from gym, all of a sudden they were telling me to go hide in the office and everything because somebody was here for me. I'm like, okay, well, who was here for me? They want to talk? Like, what's the problem? And they were like, no, she doesn't want to talk. She wants to fight. And I'm like, what do you mean she wants to fight? Like, she's mad because the student's parent, who it was, that student had just gotten in trouble before going to gym because of her disrespectfulness. So the student whose parent it was, I'm like, well, if she want to talk about the fact that her child was being disrespectful, we can have a conversation, but I guarantee you we are not going to fight. And so then they lock me in there and they're like, no, she's trying to fight. And so fast forward, everything got figured out. They got her out the building and everything like that, and I went ahead and I left. A little bit after that, it was the end of the school day anyway, so I left a little bit after that. And once I got up and left, I had written an email to the administrator and the principal and the deans and everything, just to let them know exactly what was going on. And when I let them know what was going on and let them know everything that happened, I promise you, they had that janitor out of there within the same week. He never returned back to that school. And so I saw him at a gas station, I want to say maybe like a month ago, and he was looking at me like he saw a ghost. I'm like, yes, baby, I'm the one who got you fired for sitting over there flirting with underage females and underage children, because I don't play those types of games. I am not sad about it. I am not upset about it. I never meant for anyone to be hurt or harmed, but I also never meant for anyone to be involved in any type of inappropriate relationship or situation. So now let's get into this dress that I have on. This dress came from Nikki's Boutique here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I was eyeing this dress for the longest, and then she finally had a sale and I went and got it on sale. I was like, this dress is gonna be so cute. As y'all can see, I literally struggled to get myself together, but I am feeling myself. That whole day I wanted to keep the dress on when I went to bed, baby. I was feeling myself. Thank you, Nikki, for the dress. Thank you, Eunice, for the wig, and I'm feeling myself. Love you. Bye.